Priti Patel has slammed Sir Sadiq Khan for claiming the West is at risk from resurgent fascism ahead of Donald Trump's inauguration. The Mayor of London, in a thinly veiled swipe at Sir Keir Starmer's government, said progressives should never yield ground to the far right. Mr. Trump will on Monday become one of the most powerful men in the world, at an inauguration ceremony attended by dignitaries from around the globe. But no one from Sir Keir Starmer's government is expected to attend in Washington, D.C. Despite Nigel Farage, former Prime Ministers Boris Johnson and Liz Truss and Shadow Foreign Secretary Dame Priti Patel all set to witness the historic event. Dame Priti told Sky News, "There's very little that I agree with the Mayor of London on. Tomorrow is the inauguration of the next President of the United States. I think we have to respect the fact that he has a very significant mandate. The American people voted clearly, categorically, for him, his policies, proposals that he outlined. It's really not for politicians in other countries to start making disrespectful and disparaging comments about President-elect Trump." She added, "I'd urge Keir Starmer's government to step up to the plate right now. Start good, strong, solid negotiations into interactions with the Trump government, rather than making disparaging remarks, as we've just heard from Sadiq Khan and previous remarks that have been made by Labour ministers." This comes after Mayor of London Sir Sadiq Khan warned of the resurgent fascism, writing in The Observer that these are deeply worrying times, especially if you're a member of a minority community. Asked about Mr. Trump's previous comments on trade tariffs, Dame Priti said, "The government should be really advocating building upon the foundations that we put in place for a trade arrangement, therefore not even entering these discussions around tariffs." Writing in The Observer, Sir Sadiq said these are deeply worrying times, especially if you're a member of a minority community. Highlighting the progress of the EFT in Germany, national rally in France and Mr. Trump in the US. He urged a renewed and concerted effort to confront these forces and expose them for what they are, opportunists who seek to divide people for personal and political gain. Sir Sadiq also condemned financial backers who selfishly choose to put the profits of their companies over the interests of our democracies in a dig at Elon Musk. Progressives across the Western world face a century-defining challenge, and the stakes for liberal democracy couldn't be higher, he wrote. The far right is on the march. These are deeply worrying times, especially if you're a member of a minority community. As historians and commentators increasingly find echoes of the 1920s and 30s in the present day, we cannot afford to throw in the towel. We should be in no doubt, this is a perilous moment. The spectre of a resurgent fascism haunts the West. To ward off the far right, we must be unflinching in defense of our democracy and values, and in our determination to enhance the welfare and material conditions of our communities." Dame Priti also branded Reform UK a pop-up act when pressed on party leader Nigel Farage's relationship with President-elect Donald Trump. Speaking to Sunday Morning with Trevor Phillips on Sky News, the Shadow Foreign Secretary described the Conservatives and the Republican Party as sister parties. Asked if she will have to make peace with Mr. Farage in order to get a hearing in the White House, Dame Priti said, "We have enduring, long-standing ties with the Republican Party. Our two parties in government and out of government have worked closely together over decades. In the past, two governments ending the Cold War, bringing economic prosperity around the world, as well as for our two countries. You know, Reform were not a pop-up act in a way in which they are, and their presence is here right now. Our two parties are knitted together in the very principles of conservatism, and our DNA on values and beliefs is incredibly strong. I don't think that's particularly relevant. I think, importantly, I have worked with the last Trump government when I was Home Secretary. I have a track record, certainly, in working on national security, homeland security, the real issues that matter to the British people and the American people, and those ties will continue."